Hey everyone, I'm Joanna.
And I'm Sam.
And you are listening to Disney Channel Original Newbies.
What up, what up?
Today we are doing our top 10 third 10 episode.
Which makes a lot of sense.
Yes, it needs no explanation.
No. Should we explain it?
Yeah, let's do a little explanation.
Okay, so for the first 20 movies, each time we get to the next, I guess the 10th movie, or then, 10 movies after that, we rank them. So we ranked the first 10. Now we've ranked the 11th through 20th, and today we'll be doing the 21st movie to the 30th movie in order of when they came out.
Yeah, that's it.
Thank you. Pretty succinct.
Yeah, that's the explanation. Good job.
Cool beans.
Just to list the movies that we will be discussing today, in order of their appearance, we're going to talk about The Other Me, Mom Had a Date with a Vampire, Phantom of the Megaplex, Ultimate Christmas Present, Xenon the Sequel, Motocrossed, Luck of the Irish, Hounded, Jet Jackson, and The Jenny Project. We did talk about Halloween Town 2 in our previous episode, but that will not be included in this top 10 third 10.
Yeah, that'll be in the next batch.
Stay tuned.
You probably got like 3 months until that one comes by, so at least. So good luck with that. All right, so what we usually do is we start at the lowest first and work our way up. So want to do that again?
Yeah, let's go for it.
All right. Do you think we'll have the same, before we get into any of this, do you think we'll have the same worst, least favorite movie and most favorite movie?
I think that we will have the same 3 least favorite movies, but not necessarily in the same order. And I think our top movies are going to be different.
So we're doing a trifecta box with the bottom 3 is what you're saying?
Yes.
To put it in horse racing terms?
Yes.
Okay. And then what about the top one?
I think we're going to have different
movies. Top number 1. Okay. So I break them down into different tiers of movies. Did you do that?
Kind of. So I have some tiers and then some movies are just outliers.
Okay. And are your bottom 3 one tier?
No.
Okay. My bottom 2 movies are in the same tier. So as I go through it, I'll talk about it. You have the same thing?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay. All right. So do you want to start with number 10?
So my number 10, I went back and forth on this, and I actually found it more difficult to pick which movie was my least favorite than it was for me to pick which movie was my favorite, which is different for this 10 movie grouping than the previous 2. So my bottom is The Jenny Project.
That is also my least favorite. It had very, very few redeeming qualities, so.
Yeah, it was boring. It was not great.
Can't say I disagree with you. There was no character development either, so that was a biggie for me.
Jenny wore a dress by the end of the movie, so does that count as character development?
I guess Jenny probably got a little bit bigger, so.
Anything else you want to talk about The Jenny Project?
I think we should leave it there. There's not much, not worth really talking about any further. Since we both agree it's the
worst.
Yeah.
How about, I was about to say how about, and then just tell you my next
okay.
movie.
I mean, it's fine.
How about number 9? What was your number 9?
I put Hounded.
Me too.
Oh, that's funny. So the same bottom 2.
Yeah.
It's just because I hate animals. So both movies focusing on animals, way down that list.
It's funny because it's the opposite of true.
That I hate animals?
Yeah.
Well, I do hate chimpanzees.
But you love dogs.
I do like dogs.
Yeah.
Wait, can you cover Murphy's ears for a second, our dog?
Okay, I'm covering his ears.
Yeah, I didn't like Hounded because the dog was crazy.
The dog was crazy.
There just wasn't much to it. I don't know.
Yeah, it was just, Hounded was just a crazy dog. I think the craziness is actually what made it number 9 instead of 10 for me, because it was so over the top that it was a little entertaining, but overall, not great.
And I thought the acting was fine in it too. Taj Mahal a pretty good actor, so it wasn't like the acting was bad. I just didn't care. But they also had the redeeming quality of having Shia.
That's true.
And that scene with the older brother and Shy I liked.
Oh man, are you rethinking
No.
your place? Okay.
I'll keep it as is. So those two are my...
No regrets.
So my bottom two were my no thank you tier. So Hounded and Jenny Project, no thank you.
What was your next movie?
Do you want to guess?
Number
Since I
8.
did the last one.
Do I want to guess?
No, what was yours? Number 8.
My number 8 was The Ultimate Christmas Present.
Same. We had the same bottom 3. That's very funny. Good
Whoa.
call. In the same order, though. So you
That's
didn't even think.
true.
Yeah.
Oh, I should have bet more.
I think if we watched that one more recently, it would either go up or down in my rankings, just as I don't really remember too much about it.
I mean, there was the crazy weather guy.
Right. Well, he held up the whole movie.
And then there was the picture of him dressed as, like, pretending to be a sister.
Yes.
Yeah,
that was funny.
That was great.
Because the boss was married to her.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah, that was funny.
There wasn't much else to it. It was basically the Home Alone thing with the boy dressed as the girl. But yeah, I just didn't really care for it.
Yeah, it just wasn't for me. I'll agree with that.
But yeah. Number 7.
Moving right along.
So number 7 for me was The Other Me.
I thought this is where we were going to start breaking off
Yeah.
and going our separate ways, but my number 7 was also The Other Me.
If we have the same top 10 in order, I think we'll have to stop the podcast, unfortunately.
Yeah, listeners, we do not discuss this ahead of time. We just go right into it. So this is a surprise.
This is nerve-wracking now. We only have 6 more to go. Although I don't think it's going to be the same for us, but...
No, I don't think so either.
We'll see. It could be. Who knows? Yeah, I mean, again, this is one we watched a while ago, it seems like. And also, there wasn't much that comes to mind about it. So that
Except
probably
for
makes
that
it...
scene with the fake arm.
The fake arm with the binoculars.
Yeah.
That was pretty good. It wasn't terrible. Like, I liked the prom stuff. Like, the fact that it's the same actor, obviously, playing both roles. That he did a pretty good job of playing both roles.
It wasn't bad. It was mildly entertaining while watching, but
Yeah.
it wasn't a standout.
Yeah, it was fine. Like, if that's just, like, a thing that's on, I'd watch it. Like,
It was fine is the right way to put it.
Yeah. It was in my meh tier, those two.
I'm having like a crazy weird time hearing you because I thought you said that was in my math tier.
Yeah, there's a lot of math and the ultimate... the girl wouldn't do her homework, remember?
Oh, right.
Yeah, she just refused to do her project. On the Pythagorean theorem and the golden rectangle.
Of course.
Did you see the Sokotoa woman? The teacher?
No.
Oh, this is like 2 weeks old and is not applicable at all. But there was some math teacher in some high school or middle school.
Oh, who was doing the
Native American thing? Oh, you did?
Yeah, I did
How
see
did you
that.
not know? When I say the Sokotoa woman,
Because it was 2 weeks old, I couldn't remember.
that was... It was like 5 minutes... I felt like it was less racist and just more I felt embarrassed, and that was it. That was the worst part, was the embarrassment from it.
Yeah, I was definitely embarrassed for her and also thinking, this isn't great.
It just went on for so long. If she did that for like 10, 15 seconds, whatever. But like, come on. And the kid was like filming it. It must have happened before that too, because why would he just be filming randomly?
That kid almost ran out of memory on his phone.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. But yeah, there wasn't much else to it, The Other Me, so.
All right, next up, my next movie, which was kind of on the same tier as The Other Me, but maybe like a half step.
See, my number 6 is a
Different.
step up from The Other Me, so I'm curious to see what yours is.
Phantom of the Megaplex.
Oh, no.
What did you put?
My mom's got a date with a vampire.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, why'd you put it there?
Well, you first. You started it.
Okay, so I think there were just too many plot holes and too many... Well, I guess I could say that about a lot of these
Yeah, what are you
movies, that there were
talking
too
about?
many plot holes and too many questions. But they are plot holes and questions that bothered me more while watching the movie.
Okay.
And I don't know, it just wasn't... It wasn't my thing.
Totally fair.
Yeah.
It's a movie for children. A movie for children, by children.
Yes.
So I had My Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire at 6 because, again, this is my decent tier. So these are decent movies and not like bad movies like the bottom 4. I thought the acting was fine. The plot was okay. I mean, again, there are plot holes in all these movies. It was a little boring at times. I think it was a little nonsensical, which is fine. Like, I'm not going to knock it for being nonsensical. But I think it was less entertaining than the movies above it. These are really more, like, I don't really judge them on in a class of, like, movies. But just like how...
We're not film critics. Yeah, it's just how entertaining they were to us personally.
Not even as film critics. Just, like, imagine comparing any of these movies to, like, Titanic or, like, a different, like, real movie. Or, like, The Phantom Menace. Like, really good movies.
Hey,
but
plot holes in Titanic. That door, though, come on, Rose, move over.
Alas, it's that they're just like fun movies. Well, they're not all fun. I'll take that back. Like, The Color of Friendship wasn't really a fun movie, but they're like entertaining movies. So, on the level of how entertaining movies are, it was around number 6 for me.
Okay, all right.
That's sorry fair. If I personally offended you with that one.
I mean, maybe.
We'll have to see where each other's movies are on their list. So, randomly, I think we're going to have the same number 5.
What's your number 5?
Xenon the Sequel.
Mine too.
That's so funny.
So we broke apart and now we came back together.
Yeah.
Why is it your number 5?
I think it hurt that the first one was so much better than the sequel. And the first one was way more entertaining. So Raven-Symoné wasn't in this one. Right. And there were some boring spurts, like when they go to Earth and they're like trying to walk over to like his mansion, whatever it was. That was kind of boring. It was okay. Again, it's in my decent tier. I didn't really have huge issues with it. I think just the drop down from the quality of the first one was my biggest concern.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And there were just some parts that bothered me, like how Xenon's friends kind of ditched her so quickly when the new girl came. There was just little things like that bothered me. But yeah, I think you said it pretty well. Just not as standout as the first, as sequels often are.
Like, if this was the first movie, I might grade it higher than if they already had a good movie first. I felt disappointed and let down. And
personally offended?
My pain was immeasurable, and my day was ruined. Oh, sorry, my disappointment was immeasurable. Anything else about Xenon?
No, I just, now I'm wondering if Protozoa is going to show up in the next one.
Boy, I hope so. And the song wasn't nearly as good as the first one. It was way worse than the first one.
Made for movie song?
Yeah.
Agreed.
So
100%.
We have to address the gorilla in the room.
The real issue. Yeah.
Number 4.
So for me, this was basically equal to Xenon.
Me too. These 4 were pretty much all equal for me. Do you think that's
not
the same one?
I don't think so.
My number 3 to through number 6 were basically equal for me, is what I meant.
Okay.
Yeah.
I gotcha. I think this was going to be different.
Okay. What was yours?
Luck of the Irish.
Mine's Motocross.
Okay.
What do you think of Luck of the Irish?
I don't know if it's because it was so hyped up, because you and all of your friends were like down with Luck of the Irish.
And by all of my friends, she means like 2 people at a party who, when we brought up Disney Channel original movies, they're like, oh yeah, Luck of the Irish.
All of your friends are down with Luck of the Irish.
They were doing Irish jigs.
Yeah. It wasn't my movie. I think I wanted it to be because, and it wasn't just your friends. It was basically everyone who we talk about. Everyone who we talk to about this podcast is very into Luck of the Irish.
Yeah, Bill Gates was in it when we talked about it on the prior episode.
Yes.
Who'd we have? Oh, Oprah Winfrey was on that one.
Yeah,
she
was
really
like,
liked it.
You get a magic coin, and you get a magic coin.
Right.
Yeah.
who else?
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk. Oh my
Big
God.
Luck of the Irish
But
fan.
the thing he didn't like was that they had gold coins and not bitcoins. But I think if they redid the movie now,
It would be Bitcoin.
it'd be Bitcoin.
Yeah, it was,
Yeah.
the whole like Bitcoin wasn't around thing
Yeah. And the leprechaun would be Italian, obviously.
with Chris Pratt's voice.
Yeah. Oh my God. Tell me about
Naturally.
it. Yeah.
So I feel like it didn't live up to the hype.
Okay.
And I think that I'm counting that against it.
So maybe that's how I felt about the Xenon, the sequel, in that I liked Xenon so much. And it was just kind of a letdown.
Yeah, I feel like that's a normal way to feel when there's a not as good sequel.
Yeah, you judge something that you have hope for or higher, or someone you
High
respect.
hope.
High hopes for a living.
Yeah.
Is that how it goes?
It is.
That's weird. Now I'm thinking about it, it doesn't make any sense. But yeah, all right. Fair points. So I think I already said motocross, which was better. It's the opposite of what we just talked about with you or Luck of the Irish, is that I had no expectations for motocross, and yet it's a pretty good movie. I liked the, relationships in the movie, not just like dating relationships, but like how the characters interact with each other, her relationship with her older brother, the scene in the store, which is a little ridiculous when she plays her brother, I liked. The mom-daughter relationship, the father eventually, his relationship with all the children. I thought it did a really good job with like having a normal quote unquote, a good, viewing of like the inner relationship of a family, throwing the outside characters in. So that was a pretty good movie. So I enjoyed it, and that's why I made my top 4.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you for sharing that.
No problem. Can I sit down now?
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Number Trace. So this is the highest in my decent tier.
Okay, so this one was one of the outliers. So the other outlier was The Ultimate Christmas Present. So like Hounded and Jenny Project, definitely the bottom. Ultimate Christmas Present a little better. So then this one, number 3, is like, it didn't make it into my top tier, but it also didn't make it into my previous tier.
I think it's going to be the same movie for us.
I don't.
I had Jet Jackson.
I had Mom Had a Date with a Vampire.
Oh, that's a good reason because I already said that one.
I know things.
Oh, was that number 3 for me also? 6 and 3. So you talk about Mom's Had a Date first, since I already talked about it.
So I think Mom Had a Date with a Vampire is one of the movies that if we had done this a few weeks ago, it probably wouldn't have ranked as high.
Because of Halloween?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just one of the movies that I've thought back on the most, and it's made me giggle. So it's not really the quality of the movie or how I felt at the time, but just how I've felt afterwards and being like, Maxwell Sheffield was a vampire. And then just thinking about that really bad special effects of him turning into a giant bat.
Oh my God, yeah.
Like, it's just, every time I think about this movie, it makes me giggle a little bit for different reasons. Yeah.
On a totally separate note, are there any books that were just like whatever books, like either good or bad, doesn't really matter, where there's like a character in the book that you're like, I want to emulate that character, or like I hope people see me as that character?
I don't know if I've ever really wanted to be like a character in a book. I mean, I guess the closest would be Hermione, but that was more about having magic
Red hair,
powers.
Oh, she doesn't have red hair. She has like...
No, she has bushy hair.
Okay. Sorry.
And that's probably also why she was the closest, because when I pictured her, she looked very similar to me.
Anything more recently, like with adults or older than teenagers?
Well, I don't read very many grown-up books, and I certainly wouldn't want to go back to being a teenager.
What about the parents
no.
from those books, though?
The parents aren't alive in those books. Come on now.
But in all these movies we watch, these are all, kids, focusing on kids, and you always say you relate more with the parents in it.
Yeah, but in a lot of the books that I read, the parents are either dead or they're really horrible. So don't want to be like those parents.
That's so... I guess it's YA, so it's like... you kind of have to do that because you don't want to focus on the parents, really.
Yeah.
Because it's boring to kids. Like when I was watching Gilmore Girls and they would show, the grandmother, I'd be like, ugh,
Boring.
I gotta watch them eating dinner with their grandmother.
Ugh. Yeah, and a lot of the books, I mean, some of them do have parents and some of them have, functional, nice parents, but they're not really always developed enough for me to be like, yeah, I want to be those parents.
Okay. Fair.
All right, your turn.
So that was your number
3.
Right. And I said Jet Jackson, which, I wonder if Jet Jackson, so you only have 2 left. There's Jet Jackson and Motocrossed are your top 2?
Yes.
Okay. But I don't know the order yet.
Do you have Luck of the Irish and
Phantom in my top 2? Okay. So for Jet Jackson, it was much better than I expected it to be. I don't recall specifically watching the TV show. I'm sure I saw parts of it at some point. Again, also with these movies, I've realized that any movies I watched as a kid, I either love now or hate now because it was so much worse than I remember it. So nostalgia has a lot to do with my rankings, which you don't have to deal with at all.
That's true.
Unless High School Musical is terrible, and then you're like, oh my God.
Not going to be terrible.
We'll see.
I guarantee it.
So like the 2 movies I remember the most from my childhood are on my top 2 in this ranking. So I don't remember Jet Jackson specifically, but I thought, again, there's always plot holes in these things, especially when there's like time travel and stuff like that. But it was much more high level. I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah, it was more of a movie rather than a made for TV movie.
Yeah, and if if the fight scenes were better, I'd be like, that's a real movie. Like you could have had that just as a standalone movie and it would have been fine. But overall, I really enjoyed it.
See, and for me, the fight scenes were like part of Jet's character because he's only done choreographed fight scenes. So for me, like, it made sense to me.
But even like the bad guys were like,
yeah, they were also choreographed. But I don't know. I was more okay with it. Part of the charm.
Yeah, the Xenoshihua.
Can you say that again?
Probably not, because I made up the sound, so I don't know. So those are my decent tier. Again, Jet Jackson, Motocross, Xenon, and Vampire. Number 2 and number 1 I have on separate tiers.
Okay, I have number 2 and number 1. They're close. They're close together.
Okay.
My number 2 was Motocrossed.
Okay. Look at you. So that was the only difference of 2 from us, because I'm Motocross number 4. But so why did you have Motocross number 2?
Pretty much all of the reasons that you said before, that it was your number 4, the things that you liked, the family dynamics, the character growth. I like the montages, those motocross race scenes.
Those tages were great.
Yeah. I liked how it adapted the original source material. Billy Shakespeare.
Who?
It's just like this niche writer. You wouldn't have heard of him.
Oh, Niche. I know Niche.
Different one.
Oh.
His brother.
Oh, okay. Yeah, fair.
I thought that was, a fun thing to incorporate into a Disney movie. And yeah, I mean, everything that you said before, but it made it my number 2 instead of my number 4.
Totally fair. Stole your thunder. Sorry about that.
How dare you?
My number 2 was Phantom of the Megaplex.
Why did you decide to put it at number 2? Was it because of the gumball scene?
Oh, the gumball fiasco was great. The Great Gumball Fiasco of 1999 was fantastic. Or 2001, whatever movie year this came out. I thought it just had my attention the whole time. I didn't get bored throughout it. It was really like quick from one thing to the next thing to the next thing, which is great for my, deficit in attention every once in a while. I didn't see myself looking down at my phone and stuff like that. And again, like I mentioned before, I definitely watched it multiple times as a kid, and I was excited to watch this. And although it wasn't as good as it was when I was a kid, I'm sure, it still didn't hold up completely, but I still really enjoyed it. So
Did it made you want to work in a movie theater?
I could see myself being a ticket taker in a movie theater. Actually, no, I feel like they're pretty boring. I don't know. Would be like a nice chill job at a movie theater.
Starting the movies, maybe. If that's
Okay.
if that was your only responsibility.
What's like a super chill like summer job that you wish you had?
Ooh,
It doesn't have to be chill. I'm just saying that because that's what I'd be looking for.
I mean, I feel like I had a pretty chill summer job, so I was a lifeguard, which
Not many
normally isn't.
responsibilities.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like nothing. If I had worked at a water park or something or a day camp, it would have been super stressful. But I worked in a country club pool that went to 5 feet. I mean, there was a deeper section that went to 9 feet, but it was really small.
Okay.
And kids had to take a swim test to get into that really small 9-foot section. So as far as lifeguarding goes, pretty chill. Like there was this one time, the closest I ever came to saving someone in my 5 or 6 years there.
So they died before you got to them?
Yeah.
Oh, that
Yeah.
sucks.
Shit happens. This guy, he kind of slipped in the pool and it was mostly like he startled himself. And I was like, sir, you could stand. Because the pool only went to 5
Yeah.
feet. And he was like, oh, yeah,
That's funny.
I can stand.
Well, good job. Good on you.
Yeah, he just like needed that brief reminder.
Nice.
Go me.
Nice. I'm very proud of you.
Lifeguard of the year over here.
They gave you an award for that?
Yeah, I saved his life.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I was always just jealous of the people that worked in like public parks that just were at the booth in the front that checked tags.
Yeah, that would be pretty chill.
Like as long as it's not like super, super hot in that booth, because you could just like read or do whatever while chilling there.
Yeah, just get like a little fan going.
Yeah. Be great. You could
Yeah.
bet on the ponies. You ready? Well, now we know what each other's top movies are.
Should we still act surprised?
Okay. Do you want to act surprised first?
Sure.
All right. So my number one movie.
I'm so excited. I can't wait. Should I do a drum roll?
Okay. Do a silent drum roll. That's too loud. A little bit softer. A little bit softer now. A little bit softer now. Look at the Irish.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I didn't see that coming.
I know.
My mind is blown. Do you see my face right now?
You're so surprised that you
so
woke up
surprised.
Murphy for a half second. And then he's like, no, I'll go back to sleep.
He's giving me side eye.
Where did you have Look at the Irish in your list?
My number 4.
And where was Phantom? Much lower, like 6?
Yeah, Phantom
Okay.
was 6.
All right, so I think Phantom and the Megaplex was our biggest difference of 4 apart. Although my 3 through 6 is basically the same level, so I don't know.
So we'll say that we had the same list
Yep.
the whole time.
What was your number 1?
You're never going to guess.
Okay. Wait, can I guess?
Yes.
Avatar.
Yes.
It's a good movie. It's underrated, Avatar, at this point. People always rag on it.
Oh, see, I was thinking the TV show, Avatar: The Last Airbender.
No, the movie Avatar. The Last Airbender.
Oh, no.
No, like
No,
actual-
that's like
the Avatar
negative.
one. Yeah. Only movie I've ever seen in 3D in the theater is Avatar.
Really?
Yeah. It was great.
I liked it.
Genuinely was amazing looking.
Yeah.
So what was your number 1?
My number 1 was Jet Jackson, the movie.
Wow.
Yeah,
He is a movie, guys. You should watch his TV show
I should.
since it's your
Although
favorite
I don't want
movie.
it to ruin the movie.
How would it ruin it?
I don't know.
You probably have to buy the TV show now I'm thinking about it.
I don't. Yeah, I don't. I don't like it that much.
All right. Of the movies on this list, we had to buy Jenny Project
And Jet Jackson.
and Jet Jackson. Was there a third one? I thought there was for some reason. Maybe not. It was just those
I don't
two.
think so.
Ridiculous. But at least one was a
Well
good
worth
one.
it though.
the number 1 and number 10 movies in your list.
Both worth it for different reasons. I liked Jet Jackson again because it was like a movie and not a made-for-TV movie. And I liked that it was clearly based on a TV show, but I didn't have to watch the TV show or be invested in the characters to enjoy the movie.
Oh yeah, not at all.
And I liked the premise. I mean, there were some things that I wish they had addressed, but overall, I thought it was satisfying. It was like you with Phantom of the Megaplex. I wasn't bored. I wasn't looking down at my phone. I was entertained and engaged the whole time.
Yeah, it was a good movie. Definitely enjoyed that one.
In like 3 years, I might consider watching it again.
Let's do it. when we're doing the movies all over again.
Oh, God.
Do you think... So we've done 30... Actually, I'll go through mine first, and then we'll come back to this. So, again, number 1 was Luck of the Irish. It was... So Phantom of the Megaplex was in my great tier, and Luck of the Irish was in my elite tier.
Did you actually label the tiers on your list?
Elite, great, decent, meh, and no thank you are my tiers. I think I did this last time, but I didn't say what they were called.
I really like those. I just put little brackets around them and don't label them. Oh my
God, don't get me started on brackets. Jesus, Joanna, come on. So Luck of the Irish was just obviously the best of these 10 movies that we watched. You have the premise going into effect. This kid's super lucky. He loses his luck. Simple premise. Catches you right there. Then we have the antagonist, who's just like the worst Irish person you'll ever meet, which is impressive.
Very impressive.
Yeah. Then we have the coolest part, which is they go back to like old time Ireland and they do all these games. And like it looks like Braveheart there. It's so cool.
And they threw rocks.
They threw tons of rocks. They rolled things. They danced.
Oh, they danced.
They did all those things.
They danced a lot.
They ran at one point, I think. Yeah, they definitely ran at one point. And then they have the basketball game at the end, where it's like it goes back and forth from like reality to what everyone else is seeing, which I thought was really cool.
That part was cool.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
And then as soon as that ball goes in, everyone's gone. It goes back to Wacko World.
And they go back to Cleveland.
Yeah. Well, he goes back to Cleveland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one guy.
No, I said the...
I said it right.
Erie. You dummy. But yeah, so that was a movie, again, you already talked about it, that I was super excited for. Up there with other, top movies that... It was probably my top 5 for sure of movies I watched when I was a kid. Not overall, but Disney Channel original movies I watched as a kid. So I think that definitely helped out, keep it up there. Again, wasn't as good I remember as a kid. I remember way more basketball ball being played. And there's like a game and like a minute.
A game and a half.
If that. So that was a little bit different, but I really, really enjoyed that movie. But yeah, really enjoyed it.
Good. I'm glad you still enjoyed it.
Okay. So of these movies, so we've watched 30 so far. Off the top of your head, would any of these movies be in your top 5 that we've watched so far?
Jet Jackson would probably make the top 5. Motocrossed might.
Okay.
I'd have to... I know you said off the top of my head, but that one I'd have to give it more thought.
Okay. Interesting.
I'm guessing Luck of the Irish would make top 5 for you.
Yeah, Luck of the Irish. Phantom would not make my top 5. I think it was pretty front-loaded, the best movies that I remember from my childhood. So a lot of those first 20 would definitely be in the top 5. I think just Luck of the Irish would make it there.
Okay. Do you think that you're going to start liking the movies less as they go on because you won't have that nostalgia factor?
I think that's certainly possible, but I am excited if there were really good movies that I have never seen before to have those shoot up the list.
Like High School Musical?
We'll see. I think I've seen the first one, so I don't know about that. But like a good example is Don't Look Under the Bed. I don't remember that from my childhood, but that's a classic. That's an instant classic movie.
It was pretty good. It was awesome.
So I think that's certainly in my top 10 so far, top 5 so far. And I definitely never watched it as a kid. So.
All right. Okay.
So yeah.
Good stuff.
Yes.
Is there anything else we should talk about for our top 10?
I think that's all I got. How about you?
That's kind of all I've got also.
Are you excited for the next 10 movies?
I am, and we've already started because we watched Halloween Town 2.
Wow.
Go us.
Another sequel.
No, we established that that's the first sequel because Xenon was a sequel.
A sequel, right.
Yeah.
Right. No, that's a good point. Although Ready to Run might be a sequel of Horse Sense. We don't know that for sure.
Don't put that evil on Horse Sense. It wasn't my favorite movie.
I love Horse Sense. But I
still wouldn't put that evil on it.
Horse Sense was great.
We'll agree to disagree. That's not in my top 5.
I'm glad you protected it, though. You're like, whoa.
I mean,
that movie wasn't great, but come on, Sam. All right. Yeah, well, that's all I got.
All right. Well, listeners, please remember to follow us on Instagram at Disney Channel Original Newbies. Subscribe to this podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. You can send us an email at dconewbies@gmail.com. If you send us a picture of your puppy, we can send you a picture of our puppy.
Yeah, we'll trade puppy pictures if you want. If you send us a picture of a cat, though, we will not send you a picture of our dog.
Well, if you get Sam, you won't get a response. But if I see the email, I'll still send you a picture of the puppy.
I'll respond, but I'll just write okay. And if it's a not good-looking cat, I'm just going to write K. Just so you know. I'm dead serious. I don't know why you're laughing about this.
That's all from me.
Oh, and also, your 2 favorite hosts are going to be on another podcast this week.
Oh, that's right.
We're going to be on the Crushgasm podcast, talking about
our crushes
from when we were kids.
Real people and fictional people.
Well, I guess actresses are also real people. Or I guess like the actresses
the
who
characters
played.
are fictional, though.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
You got it. You got what I was putting
we had
down.
this talk.
Yeah. But yeah, so you could find that on, wherever you found this podcast, you probably find that too. So I think it's coming out this Thursday.
Yeah, check out Crushgasm, the podcast.
Same day this podcast is going to come out.
Do you think the podcasts have crushes on each other?
Oh my God, that's such a good question. No.
All right, glad we established that.
Yeah. All right.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.